Dr. Ray Foxworth, President of ChiroHealthUSA, and I have the honor of serving on the Clinical Compass Board. Probably most of you don't know what that is, and I wanted to introduce you to my fellow board members. So, as I understand it, you've been with the Clinical Compass how long now?
I was one of the 3 people who actually created the Clinical Compass. So that started back in the early 90s. It was a direct result of the Mercy Conference document that had published, and there was a lot of concern by various parties and as to whether it was good or bad. And people took sides, and but we had this printed document, and no one knew what to do with that after that point. It was like, that's done, now what do we do? Well, people wanted it changed, they wanted to update it. There was no mechanism to do that. And I was on the board of COXA with doctors Rick McMichael and Mario Spoto, and we were at a planning session, mid-year planning session, and we got to talking about this problem, and we came up with the idea of creating a new organization to handle the issue of updating, guidelines for the profession. And so we invited leadership from all the organizations, and we sat down in St. Louis and put together the Guidelines Council, at the time, Council on Chiropractic Guidelines and Practice Parameters. Now we call it the Clinical Compass. It's a tongue twister otherwise.
It is indeed. Prior to going into practice and serving on the board, had you ever been involved in any other type of research? Was that kind of a natural path for you, or just something you found that you had a passion for?
It wasn't a natural path for me. In fact, I'm kind of anti-central control kind of person. But as we know, the process was going to happen. And so I looked at it pragmatically, and I said, well, if the process is going to happen, I'm going to have my hand in it.
It's been interesting to see almost everyone that I have interviewed. They started in leadership positions with their state and then with the Congress, and then here it is 20 years later having just an amazing impact on the profession, most recently with the United Healthcare issue.
Right.
And quite frankly, I'm not bashful to ask for donations, but the reality is this group functions 100% on donations, not grants, not loans. And so if you were able to corner a doctor in the elevator and try to convince them of the benefits of being a contributing member, what would you tell them?
Well, their ability to practice is based on 2 things. It's based on efficacy, which is what does the research say, and then politics, and that is what will the politics let you do. Your state association works on the politics. We work on the research, the science. We're that tip of the spear. So it's that piece. They're supporting one of the 2 branches when they support the Guidelines Council that makes sure that they get to practice.
Yeah. It's been interesting for me to see, as a recent appointee to the board, about 1.5 years now, is I've never heard the conversations about we want to limit care, we want to curtail care. We want to be able to find the right care, the things that work the best, and pass that along to the doctors in the field. So I appreciate your efforts all these years, and keep up the good work. Thanks for being with us.
It's been great. Thank you.
You bet.